Today, we have with us a very, very dear friend, an exceptional human being, a person who has created a mark wherever he has gone. I had a chance to interact with him a few months ago, and I was very impressed with his humility, with his smartness, with his vision, and with his clarity of thinking. But what stood out the most was his humility. He's a man of huge, huge impact. In many ways, he's extremely powerful in our country, but very, very humble about who he is. I guess if parents named him so aptly when they named him Vinay, कभी कभी अंधे का नाम नयन सुख हो जाता है और कहीं कहीं सही इंसान को सही नाम मिलता है. So when I reached out to him about 10 days ago and I said, would you like to come and speak to our people? We have not had anybody ever who's come from the press kind of a world. And since I trusted him, I said, would you like to come? On the spot, immediately he said, I would love to come. And therefore, he is with us today. Vinay, you're there. Vinay, thank you so much for coming and welcome to this lovely gathering of lovely people.
Happy Sunday morning, everyone. Thank you, Naren. Thank you for having me here. In fact, I was a part of your session for about last 30 minutes. Really, really well said. Really well said. And some of those things I could relate to myself. Very well put, I would say. Very well put. Having come from a small town and started my journey as an introvert, I know what you meant. In fact, just about 15 days back, I wrote a piece on being an introvert and how our teachers actually fail to differentiate between an introvert and an extrovert. Introvert does not mean that you don't know. It's just the shyness that you face. And in fact, it's pretty interesting. Lots of people wouldn't know, like a Warren Buffett or a Mark Zuckerberg. All of these guys are introvert. But look at that. Look at where they are today.
Yeah.
So being introvert does not kind of check your growth or
absolutely,
etc. Yeah.
So
wonderful.
So Vinay, you come from the world of press.
But first of all, let me compliment. This is an amazing work. I read about it yesterday. I thought before walking into this session, I should know a little bit about it. Awesome work. And 20 years is quite some time. Like 20 years means a lot, right? 20 years means a lot. And I can see the passion and the involvement with all of you. Even after having put 20 years, you look like having started this organization only this morning. Brilliant.
So Vinay, you have been in the world of press for quite a long time in your career.
Yes.
And you are used to maybe pressures of different kinds. How do you handle pressure?
First of all, whatever problem that I had yesterday, I don't have that today. So obviously, this is kind of gone in my head that whatever problem that I have today will not be there tomorrow. Okay. So all that what I have to do is to travel the day to day, right? So if I pass through the day to day, I won't have the same problem tomorrow. God's given us enough and many that I can actually, I have now built a capacity and capability to deal with a new problem every day. Okay. So that's okay. Problems are part of life, right? Problems will come. And in fact, they should come. I think, before getting into media or before getting into corporate, I was a sports guy. So I very well know what is it, what's a loss, right? So I remember being a part of my played football for about 16 years. And I know, what you learn, what you earn out of a loss, right? So what you earn out of a loss is the learning, right? And you keep putting, that learning to use. I'm sure there are moments when you win. Let me tell you, when you celebrate, you rarely learn from your wins. You really learn from your losses. So for me, it's like part and parcel of the day, part and parcel of the game. That's okay. That's okay. Only thing is, we cry about problems a lot more than we celebrate, we celebrate the happy moments. So I think if you have 2 or 3 or 4 happy moments a day, I think you should try and live them longer.
Oh, brilliant. Vinay, I'm asking you questions from my heart. And in the meanwhile, if anybody over here has any questions which occurs to you, just post it in the chat box. I will see what are the questions that I can take. Vinay, in your work, you must be coming across so many people with vested interests who want to gain something out of, let's say, a favor or a position or money. But that may not be the right thing to do. So how do you deal with these situations?
Well, these are all these are all part and parcel of the game. But you know what? It also depends on what message you're across. So let me tell you, when I started my journey as a media professional, lots of such kind of people used to. But slowly I realized that this increasing. Nowadays, I hardly get anyone who reaches out to me for a favor, because probably I've sent the message enough to the world that I'm not the one who you can reach out to for any kind of favor, right? So, and if it is as it is, if it is new found, or if it has to happen, if it is right, any which way it will be done. So that's the way. So it also depends on how you portray, to reach out to word, you perceive that word. So clarity of communication, clarity of deliveries, clarity of thoughts, and clarity of your personality. That's extremely important. I'll tell you, there is nothing called reality about, perceived is, unfortunately, okay. So therefore, one has to learn this art very clearly, like that. What are my actions which are giving wrong indications, wrong to the rest of the world? Though I don't mean it, right. So what we typically, so the years, I think that is something I learned. Now I don't. I make sure that I'm not dropping any wrong signal, which kind of prompts people to think different. So I'm very clear that this is who I am, and you have to take me on the face value.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, as a part of the media, so there must be so much news that you must have which gladdens your heart. And there must be some news which you come across which saddens your heart. We as readers come to know a little bit of what is happening because you can only print those many papers. So when these different kind of news comes to you, how do you deal with them? And what is the decision-making process about the newspaper and reaching out to the readers? Could you tell us a little about that?
Oh, unfortunately, of course, the way the human brain is set up, like we get attracted to negative things quickly. Okay, we get attracted to negative things quickly. So honestly speaking, when you scroll through the newspaper or news apps, in fact, you would notice that how many people died, what happened, with the crime that took place, fetches your eyeballs quickly. So news word is all about crime, corruption, controversy, cinema. It's all those C's, the crime, corruption, controversy, cinema, cricket, that's what sells in the country. So when I say crime, corruption, controversy, honestly speaking, all three words itself are negative. Okay, the words are negative. So there is, so there are a lot of positive, inspiring news. Honestly speaking, the way they get shadowed by some of these news. I'll just tell you now that you've raised this topic. Some 7 years ago now, I remember part of one of the world's most successful campaign called No News. That's when we decided to print no negative news on a Monday. I know we were criticized a lot, but if deliver don't have negative news on a Monday, what's the news to cover? We did that. I remember having my campaign. अब मार होगी ना खेती होगी ना कोई मर्डर होगा ना एक्सीडेंट होगा मंडे के दिन ये सब नहीं होगा. So I remember having broke the campaign like that, and we decided not to cover any negative news on a Monday.
Wow.
But I got a phenomenal feedback. And in fact, I have to share that since then, like last 7 years, you would have noticed that a lot of media houses have now taken route of positive news. So they spell it, say, now here is a positive news. So which means, if you have to add a word positive with before news, itself goes on to show that news is lot, lot about, on the side.
Yeah.
So when you say gladness, let me tell you, like a normal human being, anything which is, let's say, I would say, not happening right in the society, which is, it hurts me as well, right? When you know what you're thinking is not a great thing. So, for example, this entire corona words coverage, like the entire corona coverage, I have personally been a victim. I've personally, I remember the hospital, and I know so many of my colleagues who were covering, from the ground have been and have gone through, and we've lost a lot of lives as well. All negative. This is negative. But within this negative, you have people who are dancing in the operation theaters, who are, celebrating life. Life is about celebrations, not about. No, I don't would actually invest your time in being negative in life. There is no point, right? Life has to be celebrated in anything. Like I would say, it's like at any occasion, life has to be celebrated. And believe you me, if you start celebrating life, in the negatives will start appearing smaller to you, right? So that's how. So when it says gladness and sadness, I think it's like a doctor's job. Doctor will never. I'm sure no doctor will be happy having a patient who's kind of between life and death, right? But they operate, they move forward, they do their job. That's exactly what we do, right?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So a very dear friend of mine, Rajan Navani, always says that in India, ABCD sells: astrology, Bollywood, cricket, and devotion.
So let me tell you, I was once traveling from Nepal, and I read this center in the news. It says Nepal is all about A, B, C, D. A for Aya, B for Bahadur, C for Chaukidar, D for Darbar. Just kidding. So ABCDs can be twisted anyway.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So somebody is just asking this question. Suhail is asking, how do you maintain neutrality and fairness to all shades of opinion? How does the newspaper or you maintain that?
So let me tell you, first of all, what is neutrality? You see, neutrality all present. So newspaper has any news website, any news portal, any news platform has two sides of it. One is which is nothing but facts and figures. The other is views attached to it. Okay. Sometimes what happens is the journalists give their views. Sometimes the journalists bring the opinion makers to views. So, so basically it is, people also don't want to just consume news. They want to hear more about it. They want opinions about it. Okay. So when you start giving your opinion, or when you start having people on your channel giving you, giving opinions, you get branded as being for it, against it, etc., etc. So see, let me tell you, nobody is to only news. Like the whole day, if you see our news channel, in fact, when I watch my news channel, I keep telling my input director, my input editors and all, that let's start giving more. But I know what's more, like, a news breaks in the morning, then you have one set of panelists, another set of panelists, third set of panelists. They will all come deliver their point of view. So there is a news, and then there is an opinion and point of view. The viewer as a reader, we got to differentiate. Okay. So news media is just giving you or trying to knowledge side of that aspect. You should be able to understand. You should be able to decode what is in it for you, right? How you have to consume that. That's important. And that's not just important there. That's important even at household. You see, a lot of times what we say and how we say makes the entire communication or the entire conversation. It changes the entire conversation.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what you have to take, how you actually apply the filter is what you have to look at, right? So your filter is with you. Delivery is on the other side.
Oh, beautiful. Vinay, you have also been part of education. You are associated with lots of schools, and many educationists closely. As an outsider, as parents, we have a tendency to find a lot of faults in the system, find a lot of faults with the principal, the management. But since you have been an integral part of many such organizations, how do the educationists look at their role, their job? How is life difficult for them, easy for them? Would you like to say something on those lines?
So let me put it like, before I come to the educational institution, let me tell you how the job of doctors is. You see, most of us, we start picking up, choosing up, saying, no, this doctor is pretty commercial. Let's not go there. Okay. So when we go to the hospitals, we start saying, listen, the hospital charge, they charge bonkers. Not that they do. It's not that they don't. They do charge money. But at the end of the day, why do you go to a particular doctor and why do you go to a particular hospital? Is because you yourself is, you are not a doctor, right? To trust someone. Exactly what happens when people walk to school. They walk into school. They obviously want to have that faith, and they have the trust that school will be able to, give that impartial education, right type size of education to the children. So, I'll tell you from both sides, from the school sides and from the parents. A lot of schools I have interacted with and I have been interacting with, they train, coach their teachers in time, every time. You see, teacher fails the same class every year does not mean she does not to be trained till the next day. Education is an evolving thing. Like you see the entire offline to online shift. Now, the way we were teaching the offline, all that we did is we switched on the internet and we started teaching the same way. So let me tell you, from platform to platform, the pedagogy, the methodology, will all come under change, right? But no enough research. Nobody's actually done a research, looked at, how the online platforms are doing. Say nobody, majority. Okay. Majority of people did not look at that. So what I'm saying is, on the part of schools, and in Indian schools, if you see, while colleges do have the research wing, etc., the schools do not have the research wing. So you see, schools have a very flat structure. They have teachers, they have deans, they have academicians, and they have administrative people. They don't have called a research team, which to be a continuous research on evolving education systems. Right? How to cut across the generation which is moving from print to online and from online to super digital. Okay. So our teachers have not evolved. You see, our teachers are still mid-40s, mid-50s, right? The students are young, and that every 6th, 7th year there is a generation change in the digital world, right? So the mid-30s are finding it difficult to cope up with the generation which is in mid-30s. How do you somebody in mid-30s or mid-40s cope up with generation now go? Okay, that's super digital era. So research is very important from schools to change curriculum, change methodologies. How do we cut across? How do we come close to those children? The other thing that I've noticed the recent past, in fact, 15 years to be precise, is that now the size of the family is obviously shrinking. From 3, 4, 2 to 1 now. The family now, all these parents are completely glued to one child, right? And they want minute by minute progress. They themselves so much on that child, expect also to do something big and quick. So I think the expectations, the outcomes have all come under a change. I think schools must gear up and should have a system, a research which can research.
Brilliant.
Next, what's do we actually coach going forward? They to be a continuous evaluation there. Okay. Now, what's happening in these schools? Outsiders are doing it. Most of these smart boards and a lot of those people, they are doing that research. They are coming to school telling you how the next generation. Good. You are in this business. This is your core business, your responsibility. Okay. How do you better end product for tomorrow? So therefore, you got to put in that effort.
Brilliant.
And coming inside now, these days have new things. Basic income is on. Most of youngsters, both the parents are working, and of course the family size is shrinking. So the value system is also changing. Okay, with the Swiggy, Zomatos, the I'm sorry to some of these organizations, but of course the accessibility delivery channels. You have food, everything, accessible. It is there. So thing is happening is parents also have the balance. Now parents also have to right balance. They should not take the routes. Right? They should stick to the core values while imparting. You should always remember that this is about function of your child.
Hmm.
So you got to live with your child like and so very important. We all, but I rarely come across parents who know when to be a friend and when to be father, or be a friend, be a mother. Right? This switch is extremely important, and to divide the child also into brackets. Look, 0 to 9, probably 0 to 6, 7, and then 7 to 9, and then 9 to 13, and 13 to 18. Divide them into three different slices. Learn how you have to be with them in these three or these four windows, and then accordingly nurture them. Parenting is extremely so. There were days when we had grandparents at
Yeah.
okay. We had a lot of other relatives at home, so parenting was not that difficult.
Hmm.
Nowadays, with nuclear families, you staying away from your parents, just you and your daughter or your son.
Hmm.
Parenting is all the more difficult because you are like how I say like, you are immature parents now. Okay, okay. You are in this immature environment. You're not so. When you had like those grandparents around, etc. That
Ah,
that's a very different thing.
yeah. Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
So, Vinay, one to one, every citizen of our country would like India to do really well, India to prosper, India to be a powerful nation. Um, is there any, and you have exposure to media all over the world. You know people all over the globe,
Yes.
and you also know decision makers at every level of the society. If India has to become patriotic, or let's say we people have to do something for our country, uh, from that 30,000 view that you have of the nation, when you interact with people at decision making level and you know the trends all over the world, what do you think as ordinary citizens we can do as our duty to our country, or generate or develop more patriotism? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So let me divide this again. See, there are point is if you divide the country into various sections, and to be honest, um, autism, okay, is very different ball game. When I say very different, it does not have the monetary angle, etc. attached to it. So which means if I am more like if I have more money, I can be more patriotic, or I can I can deliver more. It doesn't happen like that. Anyone can be. You see where are we getting front line from? Lines comes from largely from rural. Okay, okay. Just see that you can yourself see it's not being patriotic. I think it's all about being a good human. So if you're a good human, let me tell you, whichever country you are, right, you will lend your support. All of you, to be honest, what you are doing today is a
Hmm.
great help to the nation.
Hmm.
Okay, it's a great help to the nation. So, and great help to the nation is only a product of what you're doing today.
Hmm.
Okay, it's about helping an individual. Just tell me one thing: if a person from, let's say, a South Africa reaches out,
Hmm.
just listen, Rinbai, we help. Like a similar that you share in Pune. If they come to you and we have a similar problem, okay, can you take a few of our children into our
Hmm.
ship? Would you say no? No, you won't say,
No,
because
no.
then word will become a place.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's all about doing good. It's all about doing good. Just keep doing good. Let me tell you, rest all will fall in line. Rest all will fall in line. So always reach out to people, lend your hand, lend your support, whatever that you can do for the That is it. I'm saying that's the biggest help of humanity. And I think the whole thing, the patriotism is actually bigger life now. It's all about humanity. So whether you live in India, you live in US, you live in Somalia, okay, it's all about humanity. I think do whatever you can do for society. And I'm very happy that you said that when you were paper, you found lots of people dead, and we got that we are still alive. We are still in this world. You are in this world to do this. So you're fortunate. So please, you're fortunate to be still alive. And, so the way I look at it is I'm fortunate to be still alive. I should do whatever that I can from my side. That should be the way to do it.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. One last question from my side, and then I'll check if there is any other question which is left. All these people who are present over here, and we have about 300 super active volunteers, they take quite a lot of time out from their daily life and do this work. And people come from all walks of life over here. We have industrialists, we have homemakers, we have students, we have professionals. So people from all walks of life. There is only one walk of life which I think is not present over here, and that is politicians. Except for politicians, I believe every other walk of life is present over here. When they go inside the classroom, they interact with children. On an average, everybody has about 40 to 60 children where they impact. It's a very rigorous system that we have. Like they are present today, then the whole team is divided into about 40 groups. Each group has about 10 people. The team leader is called the AC area coordinator. They in turn ensure that every person in the team has understood the concept well. So today, if you heard a little about friendship and how do we choose friends, there will be an interaction where we will ask each other, that small group of 10 people, that tell us about a very good friend that you have, and tell us about an experience in life where you were a very, very good friend. So which means it's not just public speaking that they do, but there is a lot of introspection, there is a lot of reflection. And by the time they go inside the classroom to take the session, they have lived that session. They have decided to be a role model in that session. That feeling that I am going to be a champ friend is becoming now a part of their life. And for all this to happen, they invest a lot of time. Then there are mock sessions. So let's say Saurabh over here has to take a session, and if Ashish is his area coordinator, Saurabh will give a mock session to Ashish. If Ashish says this is not okay, you need to improve a little, then he goes back, again gives a mock session. And everybody is a volunteer over here. So when I was saying that these are very, very good human beings who invest a lot of their time and it's purely out of their goodness.
Sure.
Because there is no monetary benefit in this community. There is no networking that happens. Nobody introduces themselves by saying, I do this and I do that. Therefore, chalo koi dhanda pani saath mein karenge. Ye sab kuch bhi nahi. It's a very pure movement where good people have come together, understanding the future of our country is in the schools. So let us put our efforts, let us create some time and go to the schools and deliver these sessions. And sometimes the practice sessions are in the evening where the lady of the house has to cook, manage the children, etc., etc. Sometimes the businessman has to take a couple of hours from his work routine and go to the school and take the sessions. So there is an element which they wouldn't call it a sacrifice, but many outside would call it a sacrifice. And that is for the greater good. With nothing monetarily, financially, socially, or from the target audience, that the children are not going to benefit these volunteers in any way whatsoever. So we would just like to hear from you your
Very interesting. First of all, my thought is a little different. I don't think you're not getting anything out of it. You're getting a lot out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a difference between happiness and being blessed.
Yeah.
Sukh और आनंद में अंतर है.
हाँ.
सुख और आनंद में अंतर है. Every sukh, like हर एक सुख, like every happiness in the world, हर एक सुख के साथ एक दुख जरूर आता है. आप एक नई कार लाइए, कल टच हो जाएगी, दुख आ जाएगा. Okay, that is वो सुख है. आनंद बहुत अलग है. आनंद के साथ कभी दुख नहीं आएगा. Okay, that's your blissful life. Like that's bliss, right? So what you're doing here is about bliss, right? And that is keeping you kicked and thrived in this world. And that's so Hamisha, this is my philosophy of life. Happiness is temporary. Okay. It's that bliss that's okay. It's that's permanent. So what you're getting out of this is that bliss. Okay. Now money is happiness. Money is not bliss. Okay. As I said, आप एक नया कार लेके आए, कल किसी ने डेंट लगाया, आपको दुख आ गया. ठीक है. आज खुशी थी. तो सुख के एक शब्द है दुख जो जुड़ा ही है. Like we all सुख दुख, right? सुख दुख तो आता जाता रहता है. आनंद के साथ there is no such word attached. Okay. Anand is like just standalone word.
Correct.
Okay. Correct. Anand is that standalone word. So what you're getting here is Anand. Okay. आनंद की जो फील होती है वो उसके पास होती है जो उसको फील कर रहा होता है. Okay. See, that's Anand, right? So Anand is very difficult to be shared. Anand is very difficult to be discussed. You can discuss all your happiness in the world. बच्चे के मार्क्स आए, you can discuss. उसका सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ, discuss. Imagine marks आए, सुख हुआ, सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ, दुख हुआ. So हर एक सुख और दुख आप डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. What you cannot discuss, what you cannot explain. Okay, what is something for you to enjoy is Anand. And what you're getting out of this. And that's the reason you have such a large family. Okay, because anyone who will experience Anand once, let me tell you, okay, will never leave that path. Come what may. Anand, that particular thing. See, Naren bhai, you've been here in this for last 21 years, smiling, shining. Why? Okay, that's this is Anand which is kind of driving you. Correct. And Anand is way too high, way too above our, daily happiness and sadness. Okay. So I think what you're getting out of it, imagine, I can see some of these faces. Some of these faces are as young as, in their early 20s, even like, it's like 16, 18. And I'm surprised, like, in the morning at 8 a.m., a 16, 18 kid is online. Okay. And then you have elderly people also here. Okay. So, like I just Gayatri, Padma sitting in there, like, and she's a young kid, like, right. And why would she be smiling and listening to all of this? Because she experienced that very early in life, right? So let me tell you, Anand is something whenever you will experience that, okay, you will never leave that. You would like to do it again and again. You would in fact keep doing that. Okay. So there's nothing with money. Money is so, there are times, like, for example, when I'm here, like you win a game, you feel very happy. The other day you lose a game, you feel very sad. Okay. So and this is another word as well, you today something very, very, you break some great news, great news, you feel very happy. The next day, your counterpart takes that honor, or let's say someone else does that first, it makes you feel sad. Right. Yeah. So Sukh is very competitive. Okay. Yeah. Bliss is not. Bliss has nothing to do with, what the person sitting next to me is doing. I am doing it. I am enjoying it. Okay. So that's how you truly enjoy it. So I'm very happy to, have to see such lovely, full smiling faces on a Sunday morning. Obviously, you're all blessed with. Okay. So keep doing this. What I have. So you're doing a great job. Like all that I can feel, I can sense. You're doing a great job, not for others. You're doing a great job to yourself, right? Okay. Great job to yourself. Because this is giving you bliss. And there is no formula. There is no formula to be blessed or to be, to feel. Okay. Bliss is all about giving. Okay. Sukh and Dukh is all about giving. Yeah. But for, it's all, so the take word doesn't there, take word doesn't exist there. It's not there in the bliss. Yeah. Okay. Bliss is all about giving. So just give and enjoy. There's something called joy of giving, that the Western world celebrates. Okay. So, so people do joy of giving by giving away, some of those tangible gifts, etc. And some people, they go out and give tangible services.
Yeah.
Like some people, they go out and give unknown services. Like, they don't even tell people that I'm actually going and servicing this person. Very interesting example. Somebody who goes to a family of poor and they live with that family of poor for a day. They take food from home. They cook the food at their place. They ensure that the dignity of the family is maintained. They share the same plates, everything, same food. Okay. They live there for a day. Right. They don't share it with anyone. Right. But that's bliss for them. They don't just go and give them money. Okay. They make sure that the dignity remains intact. They could have easily given some money, right? So, but time and money are different factors. You giving your right, and time is when we've all grown up thinking, listening. समय अनमोल है. तो जब आप अपनी अनमोल चीज देते हैं तो ब्लिस आता है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
आप अपनी चीज देते हैं खुशी आती है. मोल इज लाइक मनी. तो जब आप मोल खर्च करते हैं तो खुशी आएगी. ऐसा होगा. That's the way I think.
Thank you so much, Vinay. It was so interesting to listen to your thoughts. I'm sure all of us are feeling very, very enriched today. We learned a lot of practical things. We learned about beautiful, deep insights into life. And Vinay, we are very, very grateful for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Okay. I stay on course. You're doing wonderful. You're doing wonderful. Excellent. Like, I would love to be a part of this group, Naren Bhai. You can just let me know what can I do. I keep doing my part, but but anything you can do, you can just let me know at any point in time. It's a great cause, and I really want to be a part of this blissful experience.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vinay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Sure. Thank you.